What is up, guys? Pie Muffin here, and we are back with some more Trails Through Daybreak 2. Last time we were checking everything out on the island, and we came to the end of our afternoon activities. So now we're going to call it a day and let the story progress as the game continues to move forward in our first day here on Nemeth Island. So let's see what's going to happen. Fans group return to the villa and share what they... I'm surprised they don't ask you, are you sure to be done? Share what they learned while on break. So in other words, we've yet to find any leads, surefire or not. Yeah, we went over this place with a fine-tooth comb. That all said, something about this place stinks. I just haven't sniffed out the source of the stench yet. Definitely odd that our elusive owner invited us all here, only to never show his face. Well, it's not like we're in any rush to meet him. Not wrong, Nadia. I can't imagine he invited us here just to give us a relaxing vacation. Doubtful. He's definitely hatching a plot. Nothing good ever comes from that. It's all the more reason to stay on the alert. Ugh, I just want to let loose and shoot the shit, man. Is that too much to ask? Be a good idea to think about how we want to spend our time from tomorrow on. Oh, another airliner's coming in. I believe that's the last flight scheduled for today. Considering we're off-season right now, I doubt there are many passengers on board. Hold the phone. Is that who I think it is? That's one of Marduk's airships. No way. Wait a minute. Look what's on the deck of that boat. Kurogane. Hime-sama.
やあ、お疲れ。守備はどうだったかな。
本隊との連絡滞りなく。おばば様よりことづても預かってきております。
張り合いのなさそうな島だ。マジでこんなところに家がんのか。
あん人のことやし、フェイクっちゅうのもあり得るかもな。お兄ちゃん。
There's Salas and Rion.
教会の連中もこんなすぐに再会するとはな。
やはり来ていたか。
そちらも例の情報を追ってきたようですね。
最終的には GM と危機管理 AI による判断だが、他の者たちも同じだろ
う。まさかここまでのメンツが集まってるとは思わなかったがな。
ええ、この間争ったばかりの副兵長殿と席が隣り合ったことも含めて。
現時点で争う気はない。時と場合によるだろうが。
それはこっちのセリフだっつの。
ああ、この人たちが噂の。それぞれ理由は違ってそうだけど、
遺産と島のオーナー絡みなのは共通していそうだな。
よくも顔を出せたって人たちもいるみたいだけど。げえ、クソ解決宿も。
Oh, great, she's here. Oh,
コー
lovely.
トはあの後すぐに落ち着いたようですね。今少し混乱が続くかと思いましたが、これもルー家の方々の尽力の賜物でしょう。
さあ、てめえ。
食ってかかるな、青二歳。すでに終わったことをこの地で蒸し返すなど時間の無駄だろ
う。やめておけ。今は無駄だ。
どうやらそうそうたる面々が集まってきたみたいですね。ええ、それもおそらくはオーナーの意図通りに。
For what reason, though?
たく、お前たちの上司は一体何を考えてやがる。俺が知るかよ。だが、てめえらが来てるんなら情報は確かみてえだな。
And if Walter can call someone crazy, then that says a lot.
なんや大げさなことになってきたけど、ようやくケリがつけられそうやね。どんな形でかはともかくね。楽しいバカンスになりそうだ。
Afterwards, the courtesy car drivers took the newest arrivals back to the villa. However, there were now more guests than there were rooms. After talking things over with the manager, Quattro agreed to room with Esmeralda. Jude shared a room with Nina. I'm sure some are given, like Van is probably sharing a room with Aaron. Phew, that was a hassle, but I think we've finally got it all sorted out. Pretty nice place, it's got a card reader. Still can't believe we had that many people show up at once. Just what the hell is that nut job up to? Guess mulling over it now won't really solve anything. If he's gonna make a move, he'll do it tomorrow. We can work out where our next play is in the morning. Something definitely smells off, though. Maybe I should take another look around the island before hitting the sack. Two more Connect events and 7 activities. I believe there's only one thing you can do with these activities, though. Well, before we do any of the Connect events and that kind of stuff, we are just gonna go around and talk to everybody again.
So yeah. 昼間とは違うアクティビティもやってるらしいが。
Alright, we got a group over here. There's sure a lot of colorful characters here, huh? And a fair number of them seem to belong to the Society Shadows at that. I think we can count on them to exercise a basic level of decency for now. What truly concerns me is we have yet to see the owner of this resort. If you're that hung up about it, why not cut your vacation short and get off the island? I definitely considered it, but that would mean leaving Quattro here. Plus, I'd feel left out heading home this early. We'll just have to see what tomorrow brings. That may be for the best. I'll be lending my fullest cooperation toward keeping everyone safe, so please, rest easy and enjoy your time off. I'll just leave the worrying to you then. The guild has been trying to gather more information about Almada's legacy. Honestly, I wish we had a bit more to go on. Don't stress it, our team's pretty used to rolling with the punches at this point. And we are as well. That said, it's always best to be prepared for the unexpected. I knew we should have brought a larger security retinue. Of course, this is as far as their highness's welfare is concerned. The safest option would be to avoid this trip entirely. Never mind, there's no sense wasting time on hindsight. Running into Quattro and ex-CEO Townsend are only a few of the ways this vacation has been going off course. It's a bit more exciting for it, though. You take things in so much stride, it's almost comforting. Okay, this is a very interesting group. Swin, Kurogane, Leon, and Director Lamb. Been wondering for some time now, what exactly is the story behind your attire? No need for alarm. This is merely a special effects costume. Costume? I see, forgive my wariness. Special effects, you said? How very intriguing. The design incorporates elements from Eastern folklore, but with a bit of modern twist throughout. Moreover, the detailed weathering on the surface evokes the wear and tear of a genuine historical warrior. Impressively done, you have my compliments. To receive praise from the renowned Director Lamb is an honor. Kurogane? Hello? No way that's all there is to it. I sympathize with your confusion, Director. After all, this island has a sudden influx of new guests, including those of a, shall we say, seedier persuasion. If that's the angle you're taking, it's equally strange to see a man and woman of the cloth on a beach vacation. Even Eidos' servants require time to settle down their burdens. You feel free to reach out to me should the need ever arise, Director Lamb. I once had the privilege of seeing Director Gotti at work, but I'm also curious about your process as well. No way that's all there is to that, either. Thank you for the offer. We'll be in touch if the situation calls for it. On that note, I've been meeting one fascinating individual after another today. For example, if you'll allow me to have my imagination take flight. Before me sit 3 men burdened, the oldest by a tremendous duty, the younger by their weighty pasts. Being surrounded by so many dramatic inspirations really gets my creative juices flowing. It's scary how on the mark he is. World-famous directors must have an eye for this sort of thing. Not wrong. This afternoon's local scouting was a massive success, thanks in no small part to your assistance. At this rate, we should be able to keep shooting from tomorrow onward. That right? Well, try to keep yourself safe out there. Director Lamb mentioned you accompanied him and his crew on a location hunting excursion. I must admit, I'm exceedingly jealous. Would that you were able to share your good fortune. Yeesh, if only missing out on schmoozin' ops could be the worst of our island getaway woes. Never realized you were such a social butterfly. It would prove problematic were the princess to be scouted by the director. This is merely a preventative measure on my part. I see, can't fault you for that one. So he's pretending to be like an actor, just so Shizuna doesn't get involved in a movie. I've seen a few of Director Lamb's films. I didn't really know what kind of person he'd be, but he's a surprisingly sensible person. At least that was my first impression anyway. Turns out he definitely has his idiosyncrasies. Welcome to the world of creatives. Alright, what do we got? We got more people down in the... See, this is like, it's so nice for the immersion when we get these little vacations. Obviously, we've had it in every single arc, you know. Well, kinda. In Libero, we obviously had, you know, the festivals and such, you know, in Grand Cell. In Crossbell, we obviously got to go to Michelin and relax there in several games. Well, I guess in Cold Steel as well. Cold Steel, we did the same thing. We got to go to Michelin and really enjoy it. Plus, you also had the, you know, the school festivals as well there, which really, you know, you get to take in the immersion. It's not always about, you know, combat and everything. And then here we've got this as well. Obviously, in the first game, we had the Revolution Festival. And in this game, we're here on this island, you know, taking a load off. Oh. We have a 4 SPG, it seems. But let's see who's hanging out here. Random thought, but we got the makings of a real dream team here. 3 of us together? I'm not sure I see how. The Golden Butterfly can use her Screw the Rules skill to cut through space and warp us into buildings. Then Grimcat can use her Style and Thief techniques to snatch the objective. That way, we can burglarize any place we want, no matter how tight their security is. And where do you fit into this? I'll be the one in charge of holding our plunder up on the roof. High on the rooftop, and cackling hysterically. At least pick something that helps us with the heist. Wait, why am I even playing along with this loosey-goosey trio? But I thought loosey-goosey was Grimcat's whole deal. Since when? Personally, I find the idea quite amusing. Such a thing could stoke Blue Blanc's competitive spirit and spur him into sending a writ of challenge. Blue Blanc, you mean Phantom Thief B? Oh, now we're talking. This isn't something to be excited about. I sat in on these two in case sparks started flying, but the vibe turned out to be way more mellow than I expected. They're actually on a pretty similar wavelength, weirdly enough. You're exactly as amusing as the professor made you out to be. Why, we're practically co-workers, once or twice removed. Ugh, you just had to go there, didn't you? Excuse me if I don't like the idea of palling around with the right hand of the garden's deadbeat dad. My, such biting words. They certainly have some history between them, but it looks like they might be able to get along, maybe. Trying to dig up some intel on the enemy. What, from the Golden Butterfly? Yep, I used every non-violent interrogation technique in the book, but it turns out she's a tough nut to crack. She should just stop wasting time and tell us what hole the old man's hiding in already. Yeah, I doubt she'll let the cat out of the bag that easy. And also, you do know she's like 5 reg away from you, right? Oh, I know she can hear me. I'm trying the passive-aggressive route now. Yeah, good luck with that. Not sure how that will work. Okay, so we got Kasim Sao and Prince Sharid all here together having a meal. Perfect timing, Van. Why don't you join us for a glass or two? Indeed, you'd be a more than welcome addition. It's an honor to be invited, all your highness. But I ain't exactly on drinking buddy terms with the whole table here. Oh, now, you needn't be so circumspect over a bit of idle conversation. Speaking of which, it would seem that Elsheim's enterprise have been making efforts to expand into the Republic. This will likely lead to competition with Valis-based companies over the same market share. Perhaps you'd be willing to accept our help in this matter. I believe we could be of much use to you. Borrowing the aid of the Kowloon Group is about the most reliable choice we can make. Though I'll have to keep a close eye on what the newly formed Lee family is capable from here on. Meticulous as always, your highness. Incidentally, the Marduk Company's performance in the past year was quite a sight to behold. Using AI for crisis management is something our principality seeks to emulate, to say nothing of the high mobility security force you lead. You flatter us. In truth, we are merely adhering to Marduk's system. If you have an interest in our company's affairs, I can arrange for a meeting with our general manager. Haha, still on guard, are we? But yes, I do feel like a formal discussion will be worth having. No offense, Prince Cherie, but you couldn't pay me enough to join the mutual interrogation behind these poker faces. Seeing who exactly is gathered on Nemeth only confirms that Marduk made the right call sending us here. You do well to tread carefully, Van. Are there fans above us? Oh yeah, I was like, what is that in the corner that's like making the camera all weird? It would appear Zeta has been expanding her social circle ever since we arrived. That girl has a promising future ahead. I almost shudder to think of it. Our host is devising something very bold indeed, gathering such disparate personages to Nemeth Island. In the end, will the Lee family prove to be a blessing or a curse for Heiau? Only time will tell. We could do one of these activities before we continue around the island. Actually, I want to see what this 4SPG is about first. Pretty sure this is Walter in Towson's room. I feel kind of bad that Towson has to share a room with that guy. Wait, I hear voices. Is that someone crying? Why me? My horrible luck finally makes sense. It's all because I've been cursed. That's gotta be Towson. It sounds like he's not in the best mood either. Maybe I should pop in real quick to check on him. Hey there, sorry for barging in. The Spriggan? What are you doing here? Oh, nothing. Just thought I heard somebody blubbering their eyes out and figured I should look into it. Rooming with Walter's that bad, huh? I wasn't blubbering. Do I look like the blubbering type to you? And while I certainly am not pleased to share space with that brute, there are far more concerning matters on my plate at the moment. Okay, then lay it on me. What's the problem? There's a reporter named Marielle, you know, the one taking pictures for Taurus earlier today. Yeah, I know her. Looks like she was giving them away, too. Well, a little while ago, I received a few pictures of my own from her. That's when I saw it. A strange white shadow hovering over me. Oh, brother, that's what's got you so upset. Hey, this is a big deal right here. See for yourself. Huh, there really is something there. This was taken out front of the abandoned church, right? Wonder what that haze is. See, I told you there was something strange going on. Must be a ghost that's been haunting me this whole time. Well, at least you got a pretty cool picture out of it. How can you be so blasé about this? This is evidence of paranormal activity. Ghosts caught on camera. Even modern science haven't been able to provide proof of the afterlife. How are you not absolutely petrified? Well, I got a 1,000-year-old demon inside me. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. If the higher elements are at work here, I wouldn't be surprised that a place like that was teeming with ghostly-looking monsters. There's lots of stuff that can't be explained with science. Doesn't mean you're being haunted. God, you must take me for a fool. I should have known you wouldn't understand. First, I had to deal with that horrible incident in Basel last year. Then I lost my job, and now I can't even take a proper vacation. I'm positive it's all because of this evil spirit. There's simply no other explanation. As long as this guy claws on me, my life will be filled with nothing but misfortune. How will I ever rid myself of this horrible affliction? Look, if you're that scared, why don't you try and figure out what the white blob actually is? Sure, it looks like a ghost, but maybe it's just like when people see celebrities and their toast or something. I suppose the unknown is sometimes more scary than the truth. But how do you suggest we investigate the identity of a ghost? The very idea is ridiculous. Actually, I think there might be a few people on this island know a thing or two about spirits. Plus, I'd hate to leave him like this. If I ignore it all, he might just become more of a headache. Should I help him get the bottom of this ghost business? How about this? I'll figure out what's going on with this ghost thing as long as you put in a formal request. Request? Oh, you must mean your 4 SPGs. As luck would have it, I know some people on the island right now who would be considered paranormal specialists. With their help, I'll be able to figure out the truth behind your little ghost problem. And hey, if it's really a ghost, then all we have to do is exorcise it. I figure it'd be a lot more constructive than just sitting here freaking out about it anyway. As much as your skepticism irks me to no end, you do make a good point. Fine, I formally request your services. Although I'm not sure how far I trust these specialists of yours. Guess it's the deal. In that case, mind if I borrow that picture? Gladly. In fact, I'd rather you have it anyway. Alright then, I'll get back to you after I talk to Mariel and the others. Actually, I might even have them come by to give you a once-over, too. Just wait here for now. Of course, but make sure you're quick about it. Well, guess I should go find Mariel then. Might be a good idea to talk to someone familiar with the island too. Maybe the villa manager? Could also ask the Gralsritter for help. Although, I don't think Celis was ever that good with the whole clairvoyance thing. She'd probably just stick to hitting up her partner. Then there's Shizuna. I think she mentioned about having some spiritual powers back when Mare possessed Yume. Might be useful. I'm sure at least one of them is capable of clearing up this mess.
Ush! 業務開始だ.
Well, we'll get this handled. And of course, we'll talk to people as we're running around. Oh, Rion's right here. May as well start with him.
ちょっといいか?
Sorry to spring this on you out of nowhere, but can I get your take on something? Why, certainly. It is a clergyman's duty to lend an ear to those who seek one, no matter how disreputable they may be. Could have gone without that last bit, but thanks. Man took out the picture he borrowed from Talisman and began to explain the situation. So you wish to know what this ghost really is? I'm not sensing anything odd from the picture itself, but knowing it was taken on the island does make me wonder. That's a bit more ominous than I was expecting. I think I should meet with Talisman. I'll explain in more detail there. Oh, are you a priest with the Septian Church? That's correct. My name is Leon, and I'm what some call a wandering priest. A pleasure to make your acquaintance. The picture Van shared with me didn't give much to go on, so I thought it'd better to meet you directly. So, do you think there's something going on with him? Worry not, friend. I don't sense any spirits on your person. Really, that's certainly a relief to hear from a priest. However, it would be prudent to keep your wits about you. This whole island has been stained by some sort of stagnant energy. What? What do you mean, stained? Just as it sounds, I felt a very particular sensation ever since we stepped foot here. It's as if a dark cloud is looming over the entire island. I won't know more until I've had a chance to conduct a more thorough investigation, however. At any rate, it's not uncommon for spirits to congregate in places with an excess of energy. Even if you aren't being actively haunted this moment, it's still possible that something has its eye on you. I suggest you stay indoors after nightfall. I would also be mindful not to get any mishaps during the day either. I see, so much for being relieved. Well, this was definitely a strange turn of events, thanks for the help, Leon. Not at all, I'm glad to be of assistance. If you have no further need of me, I'll go ahead and take my leave. Farewell. Well, that didn't help. Guess I better keep working my way down the list.
いかがいたしましょう。またお声掛けいただければ。
聞かせてもらうぜ。
Van took out the picture bar. Okay. I see, that certainly does look a bit spooky. With you being the manager and all, I thought maybe you'd have some kind of idea of what it might be. Anything come to mind? Well, to be frank, I don't think I've heard talk of ghosts around here. That's not to say we haven't had a few slightly odd disturbances, of course. Mind telling me about them? Certainly, one of our guests was taking a walk one night when they said they saw an enormous, terrifying shadow. People were concerned about the possibility of it being a monster, but after conducting an investigation the following morning, we came to the conclusion that it was likely only a wild animal. Because the street lamps were stretching its shadow, it seemed much larger than it actually was. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Knowing there haven't been any ghost sightings in the past is helpful on its own, though. I'm sorry I couldn't provide you with any more information. Please let me know if there's anything else I can do to assist you. Sure thing, thanks. Guess I better keep working my way down the list. Alright. Oh wow, you got a whole class here for telescope stargazing. This looks fun. You guys doing some stargazing? Oh hey Van. I heard the villa had a telescope somewhere in storage, so I asked if we could borrow it for a few hours. The air is crisp and clear, and the light pollution is practically non-existent out here compared to Edith or Basil. It all helps to make the stars look that much brighter. Even I was amazed. I've never seen such a beautiful night sky before. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying yourselves. I'm sure it must be pretty breathtaking, though, through the telescope. Mr. Robot's here, but teaching us all about constellations, too. Yeah, this great floaty thing is so cool. I've never seen anything like it. Leave all astronomical observations to Fio. Maybe Fio is the real star here. They really taught me a lot, though. Hey, Quattro, do you have any other lessons for us? Quattro? You had a 1,000-arch stare for a bit there. Sorry, I think the day's finally catching up to me. Oh, I get what you mean. All the exploring we did can really burn you out. Yes, but back to the constellations. I'm happy to answer whatever questions you have. You know, they're actually a rather big fascination of mine. I don't think I could ever get tired of talking about them. Yeah, something obviously up with Quattro ever since we arrived on this island. This has been a lovely evening so far. Still, I do worry we're spending a bit too much time fooling around. I just hope that Harwood doesn't try anything, at least not tonight. You should do some stargazing of your own while you're here, Van. This part of the sky is only visible due to how far south the island is, so it's really worth it. Take it from someone with a penchant for astronomy. The stars are more visible here than Basil. One day, Fio would like Professor Hamilton to be able to see this wonderful sight. Oh, that'd be nice. It does look pretty out here at night. I used to look up at the stars a lot during our campouts back when I was with the Kruger. But this might be the most beautiful night sky I've seen so far. I don't think I'll ever forget it. I guess Mariel's probably gonna be out here. Yep, there she is. So what are you all up to? Oh, Van. Hello. Hey, I figured you guys would like to take a few mementos of your trip, so I've been shooting some photos. I'm developing all the film in my room. She was actually just showing us all the pictures she's taken so far. Get anything good? Well, she did manage to get a shot of Fairy stuffing her face, and a few of her smiling as well. Oh, and she was able to capture one of the most beautiful rainbows I've ever seen. She even caught a few pictures of the island's rare birds. All of your pictures are so nice, Mario. Do you think you'd be willing to make copies for me? Guess you've been hard at work, huh? Sounds like you're getting pretty crafty with that camera, too. Well, it was all part of the job, you know. I'm sure you've heard the old adage. A picture is worth 1,000 words. I can't just be good at writing articles. I gotta make sure I get good shots in. Well, all the pictures you've taken here have been incredible. Yes, I agree. I'm sure you'll be as skilled as professional photographers in no time. You guys are too nice. Speaking of photography, have you all seen any movies recently? I remember you saying you really liked my debut film, Agnes. That makes me smile whenever I think about it. Actually, would you like to know a few things that happen behind the scenes? Yes, of course. Oh man, if your fans knew the Nina Fenley was sharing her own exclusive stories with us, they'd positively drop dead from envy. All my recording devices are somewhere else at the moment, so everything you say is 100% off the record. Damn, I'm kind of interested myself, but I think they're having girl time right now. Probably best if I leave them to it. I've had so many wonderful conversation partners today, Agnes and Marielle included. It's a shame the weather forced us to change our course to Nemeth Island at such short notice. But we did get a great shoot out of it, not to mention a chance encounter with all of you. Maybe this detour worked out for the best. I had so much fun talking with Nina and Marielle that I almost forgot why we were even here. I have to remember this isn't an idle vacation. We have to figure out why that invitation was sent, why all these people have been gathered here. Hopefully we can uncover all that in our investigation tomorrow. That's all we can hope for. Speaking of photos, I've taken several with you in them, Van. I'll pass them out to you and the rest of your crew once they're developed. We've been hearing a lot of characters talk about, making memories, taking pictures. So that's kind of nice. I didn't realize I caught a ghost in one of my pictures. It's all my fault Mr. Townsend's so on edge about it. If only I'd checked them beforehand. I should go and apologize. It's not you that's at fault. I'm pretty sure that guy's just paranoid about anything and everything. Anyway, do you usually see stuff like this in your photos? I wouldn't say it's common, but I've definitely taken some that were pretty similar. But my coworkers at the Tyrol Times said I'm the only one who has this issue. Maybe she just has a knack for capturing ghosts on film. Did you notice anything strange around the time you took the picture? No, I don't think so. I think it was sometime around dusk. I was just getting ready to turn in for the day, and that's when I spotted Mr. Townsend. He was trying to get inside the abandoned church, but it seemed like he'd given up. Figured I would take a picture so he could have a nice keepsake. Almost forgot, that's the only picture I took with the flash on. Although, that's the only thing out of the ordinary I can recall. The flash, huh? That might have something to do with the haze then. Thanks for the info, Marielle. Of course, happy to help. Guess I better keep working my way down. Yeah. We got another interesting table over here. Pick a fight with me one more time and you're getting shipped off this island in a body cast. Is that a promise? Hearing that only makes me want to mess with you more. The hell? Do I look like I'm joking? Settle down now, you two. While I'd very much like to see how a showdown between you would play out, we wouldn't want to spoil the wonderful dinner we just had. Why don't the four of us converse a bit? Chances like this don't come around often after all. Damn, you've really got an all-star table here. Chance encounters such as these can only happen at a luxury resort. I don't really care to get chummy with the Ikaruga bigwig, but you know what they say about missed opportunities. In that case, let me ask you something I've been dying to find out for a while now. Just how powerful is the head of the Gralsritter? You refer to Ein Selnet, yes? She is a person of interest to the Marta Company as well. Oh, is this the same woman the Carnelia series was based on? Yes. I've been curious about her for a while myself. They say she's as strong as she is beautiful. Yeah, you're better off not lumping the book character in with the commander. Anyone on this continent who can go toe-to-toe with her at her best would have to be in the same league as the Golden Rakshasa. So, Aurelia. Golden Rakshasa. That would be the famed former general of the Empire, Aurelia Le Guin. That the two of them are on equal playing field says quite a bit on its own. She doesn't come out from behind the curtain much, but screw with her and even you'd get burned. And that's just for a start. You don't say? Well, now we just have to throw down. Maybe I could put in a 4 SPG with Van and have him lure her out somehow. I wouldn't be so certain. As if I'd be stupid enough to accept it. What do you think the S in 4 SPG stands for? Suicide? While we're asking questions, I once read a book about these fantastical beings in the East known as yokai. Have you ever come across one, Miss Mitsurugi? Yeah, locals would use that word for some of the creatures I've run into. They skedaddled the second I came in and were close, though, so those yokai are probably nothing special. They probably thought a Battlestar maniac like you was even more of a freak show than they were. How very intriguing. I can't keep up with this at all, but it does look like they're having a good time. Incidentally, I spoke with Mr. Al-Fayed recently. In accordance with both our risk management AI's predictions and Mr. Thorndyke's wishes, he has come with some of his security team's most elite members. Perhaps this isn't my place to say, but although Marduk's goals align with ours, it may be prudent to remain attentive to how the situation develops. Oh, okay. So talking to Shizuna still just comes up with the same conversation. Sorry to cut into your fun. But can I ask you a work-related question? Sure, go for it. I see. Chasing down a ghost, huh? It sounds like a pretty fun job. Kind of fitting for this island, don't you think? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, it's nothing to worry about, at least for the time being anyway. Look, if you're not going to tell me, you could at least stop being so foreboding. Anyway, to answer your question about my abilities, yeah, I can detect evil spirits, can even exorcise them too. But based on this picture, I don't really think that's what you'll need from me. That's not to say Towson isn't being haunted, though. Well, would you mind stopping by to take a look at him? I get the feeling he wants a diagnosis straight from the horse's mouth. Sure, I don't mind at all. Why don't we head over now? Hey, Towson brought somebody to see you. I'm sorry, but who are you, miss? She's someone important from the East. Got a talent for seeing spirits, too. My name's Shizuna. Nice to meet you, Mr. Ex-CEO. Yes, likewise. I don't believe I quite understand, but whatever insight you can offer would be most appreciated. Was there anything you noticed about the picture? I didn't get the sense that there's something ghoulish going on, if that's what you mean. But I figure I could at least check you out, just in case. Yeah, just as I thought, you're no host to a ghost. You do seem to be giving off some pretty negative vibes, though. Negative vibes? I guess it might make more sense to say he's irritated or annoyed. Here, let me put it like this. Strong negative vibes attract bad things. Usually it's just general misfortune, but other times it's evil spirits. Anyway, I don't know your situation, but I recommend trying not to worry too much. Do something to get out of the slump you're in. Wow, wasn't expecting you to give the guy life advice. You and me both. The reason I came here in the first place was to refresh myself, but I've had just so much bad luck lately. Well, nevertheless, I appreciate your suggestion. However, none of that explains anything about the white haze in the picture of mine. Do you know what it could be? Well, at the very least, I don't think it was a ghost or a human. What's that supposed to mean? I may know a thing or two about spirits, but I'm not a medium, you know. It's just something you'll have to rack your brains about. Alright then, thanks again for your help. Yeah, thanks for your time. That's just about everybody. Heard a lot of different opinions, but nothing really substantial. Maybe I'll have better luck investigating around where the picture was taken. Huh? What are you doing here? Oh, it's you. I was just trying to familiarize myself with the terrain. But I noticed an unusual aura coming from that abandoned church. What do you mean? I mean, I'm definitely catching a whiff of something, but I can't quite place what it is. I'd say it's because you lack the proper training. Anyway, I'm assuming you have business over there? You could say that. Somebody asked me to take a look around for them. I see. It would seem Verne's former CEO still has a number of unresolved anxieties. That being said, I'm surprised a Spriggan would even take on a job like this. What, got a problem with that? The only reason I took the guy on was because I didn't want him getting work any more carried away than he already is. Anyway, what'd you think about the picture? Anything stand out to you? Not particularly. I thought the white blur was odd, but nothing more than that. Guess I'll just have to keep digging. Well, shall we get going? We are going the same way after all. You're not exactly my ideal partner, but after you, I suppose. You would think at night, you know, in the middle of March, on an island, it would get kind of cold. You'd think Van would throw his jacket back on. So this is it. It's a lot more creepy at night. It's very odd for the Septian Church to leave behind ruins like this. You usually only find them near abandoned villages, evacuated during ongoing conflicts in the area. Now that you mention, I guess it is pretty strange. Anyway, I've got some investigating to do, so this is where we go our separate ways. You'll find no argument from me. However, I would like to know how you end up resolving the issue. Are you thinking it might be related to that weird feeling you mentioned earlier? Yes, and I prefer to have as much evidence as possible before drawing any conclusions. Well, if I find anything on my end, I'll be sure to fill you in. I appreciate it. We'll speak later. Good luck. Alright, I still have no clue what made that white haze. Guess I'll try using shard search to see what I can find. If I can pick up the trail somewhere, it might just lead me to the answer. Maybe something inside could offer a hint or two. Well, he said this is where we're going our separate ways, but he's inside the church. There's much to be concerned about, but our investigation will be ending shortly regardless. Come speak with me once your own is complete. Oh, water. Oh, I guess I'm not allowed to go fishing. Oh, no, we can. No, it's just everything I already have. The track seemed to end here. The pattern makes me think it's got some level of intelligence, though. But there's no way it's human. It's got to be a monster. The only question is, what kind? And does it actually have anything to do with all this ghost business? Plus, the footprints are incredibly round. I feel like I've seen them somewhere before. A beat-up orbital lighter lies discarded on the ground. What's an orbital lighter doing here? Looks like it's been through hell and back. Still got some life left in it, though. Doubt somebody from the villa would litter like this. It must have belonged to a tourist. Guessing they came out here at night to see how long they could hold out in a test of courage. They probably got so scared they dropped their lighter and ran for it. Would it be Townsend? I don't know if he smokes. This is a weird thing. What's this, a medallion? Looks like it's got an engraving of Eidos on it. Seems pretty old. It's all cracked too, almost like somebody smashed it underfoot. Makes sense for something like this to be left behind in an abandoned church, but something about this feels off. Guess that covers everything I wanted to look at. I don't think there's anything else worth examining here. I better go report back to Kasim. Already done with your investigation? That was fast and unexpected. Well, it's not like it's a big church. Anyway, I figured out what that weird aura was about. No, seems like I was just a bit too late. It appears unrelated to your photograph issue, however. You don't say. Excuse me. Mariel? Mariel, what are you doing here? What do you think I'm doing? I'm here to investigate the photo I took, of course. I feel kind of guilty, so I thought I might as well lend you a hand to make up for it. I figured you went to look at the church, so I decided to come out here myself. Lucky guess. Didn't know you'd be working with someone from Marduk, though. Hope I'm not intruding. Not at all. Actually, you might just be right on time. It would seem Van's determined the true identity of your ghost. Already? Well, it's pretty easy to piece together when you look at the evidence. First, there were the small round tracks I found. Then there was the abandoned lighter and the cracked medallion. But out of those three, the one that points to the identity of the white haze is... the cracked medallion. Cracked medallion, even for an abandoned church, something about it seems odd to me. Weird feelings aside, though, I guess it doesn't really have anything to do with the white haze. The small round tracks I found using shard search, those are the key. Round tracks? What do you mean? From them we can infer that we're dealing with a monster that doesn't have legs, but if it could fly, there'd be no tracks at all, so it hops. Put together with small and round, there's only one thing it could be, a palm. A palm? Sorry, I'm not super familiar with monsters, I'm drawing a blank. Palms inhabit every region of Zemuria, so it's a little surprised they'd be here as well. They're incredibly adept at blending into their surroundings. However, they're also quite skittish. Personally, I haven't seen many around lately, but I've heard there's been a recent sightings of a special shiny type that glows. So it just hopped in the picture. They come in a whole variety of colors, but the white one is the most common. Maybe I've never seen one because they're so good at hiding. I guess the only question left is how that white haze or a palm ended up in my shot. Yeah, that's the important part. You said you had the flash on when you were taking a picture of Towson, right? My guess is that our little friend was hiding outside the church and was startled when the light went off. Must have left behind Towson at just the right moment. Oh, you're right, that would explain everything. I'm not so sure Mr. Towson will accept it unless we show him some kind of photographic evidence, though. You think we can get it to pop out again if I take another picture with the flash on? I'm not so sure. Honestly, I feel like I probably spooked it just by entering the chapel. But given the tracks Van found, I'm assuming it's somewhere still around here. You think maybe it's too scared to come out? Guess I'll just have to find some other way to convince Mr. Towson. Actually, I think I can lure it out. We've come this far, right? Might as well get some solid proof. This should be interesting. Huh? Rah! Eep. It really worked. I better grab some photos. Jumped on her head. How nimble, should we give chase? Well, we can't just let him go. It'd be dangerous to let a monster roam about on the main road. Looks like we got the little guy cornered. But he seems to have called for reinforcements. They're closing in on us. Oh! What are those things? Just stay calm and keep close. Allow me to lend a hand. Alright, Kasim's a guest, of course. Nice. By the way, I was thinking that before I started this video, I was looking at our Sepith amount, and we have so much. I could definitely fully unlock probably a lot of characters. Next time we're going into some heavy combat. All clear. Yeah, that palm was a lot tougher than he looked. Nice job, you two. I was able to get some great pictures during all the commotion. The palm was so fast, some of the shots came out a little blurry, too. I'm sure Mr. Towson will be convinced once he gets a look at these. Nice work, kid. Guess I'll be able to wrap this job up after all. What about you? Got anything else to take care of? Actually, I think I'll be retiring for the evening. I still have some lingering concerns, but it would seem best to review the whole situation before taking action. I see. Review the situation, huh? Guess I should probably do that myself. Especially with all the weird stuff we've run into lately. Well, if you're ready, what do you say we head back to the villa? You're right. This monster is about the same shape as the blur in the other photograph. Right, so you weren't actually being haunted. The palm just happened to pop up in the middle of the shot. That's all there was to it. I am ashamed of how much I let this whole thing ruffle my feathers. Sorry, Mr. Townsend, it's my fault. If I had just checked the photos more carefully before I handed them over, none of this would have happened. If anyone deserves blame, it's that monster for getting in the way. It's no fault of your own. Well, I appreciate you for saying so. If we take into account what Miss Cheeseman and the priest had to say, it sounds rather likely we can encounter some spiritual phenomena in the future. Best to be prepared at any rate. Perhaps I'll go see if they happen to know any good precautions to take. Good point. From what they said, there's definitely something strange about this island, spiritual or otherwise. The situation's so complicated already, though. This just makes it worse. Ben, you alright? Yeah, it's nothing really. Anyway, if you get into a pinch at night, you can always ask your roomie for help. I bet he'd be real happy to have something to beat the shit out of. The only problem is the room might not be intact afterwards. I'm not so sure if that's supposed to be comforting or terrifying, but I suppose I'll just have to consider it. Phew, I almost blew our cover. It's wild he could tell we were around, even if he used the Kumsin. Worked out okay, though. The way things are going, tomorrow ought to be pretty entertaining, so we know they're on the island. Yeah, maybe. Not that many hurry to take on any extra work, though. Anyway, they're way more suspicious of the church now, so I'll switch to a backup location for now. Roger that. Senorita. Oh man, I'd like to go mess with them a bit, but I guess we have to save that for later. Look forward to tomorrow, everybody. We're gonna have one hell of a time. Oh, lovely. Oh, he's down here now. We'll talk to him before ending the video. It's just my luck I'd run into the Crown Prince. Wasn't losing my seat as CEO bad enough. I couldn't have picked a worse time to come down here. All I wanted was to clear my head. Well, them's the breaks. Alright, so next time we're going to continue walking around talking to everybody while also we're going to do those 7 activities here, which we will get onto next time. And then after that, it'll probably be time to turn in for the night and see what tomorrow brings, because as Ixenyorda just said, they obviously have some kind of plan for us tomorrow that probably doesn't involve just hanging out. So that's going to be it, guys. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'll see you next time. Have a wonderful day, everyone.